Alright, now to the classes, and this is perhaps in my perspective one of the most important topics in any object-oriented programming language, if not the most important one indeed. Because what separates the conventional old programming languages from the new ones are indeed the classes. The classes, like we learned earlier, are the blueprints for creating objects. That means if I want to encapsulate the data and the behaviors or the methods, which the methods, by the way, they are the functions that are used inside the classes. We call them methods. So if I want to encapsulate all of that inside one block and then use this block throughout the whole application, then I have to create instances out of this block, which I call objects, hence object-oriented. The whole programming language is named after this or these instances. So without further ado, let's begin with the classes and let's start creating a new class. Start by the reserved word class and then the class name, which I'll write in a Pascal case, then curly brackets, open, close, and start with data. And in order for us to start with data or with methods, and also I have methods which I will declare after I declare the data. In order for me to declare anything inside the class, I have to add the access modifiers. And the access modifiers, they mean, is this going to be accessible within the class only? Are they going to be accessible within the class and outside the class, extend to other classes, maybe to other applications as well, maybe to other assemblies, and each assembly contains many applications? Don't worry about them now, as we are going to cover them in the later on lectures. But we just begin for now public and then start declaring the variables in the normal ways, string, and then the variable name, let's say model, and then another one, let's say make for the car, and maybe we have the manufacturing date, which is of date time. Let's declare of date time. And by the way, just a side note, just a brief tangent on the topic, the date time and the string, they are classes indeed, right? But they are system defined classes. That means I didn't create them as a user. I didn't create them as a developer. Who created them? They are in the system. The people who created the system created them. I'm just using them. So they're considered to be system defined classes. However, I created the car and I'm going to use the car in my application. So this is a user defined classes, And if you go to view and then object browser and look, for example, for any class, date time, string, you can look for anything really. And if you go to date time, you can see that the date time is inside system namespace because it's system.datetime, and the namespace contains multiple classes, many classes. So if you go to this date time, you can find all the functions or the methods inside this class that you can use. If you go to string, since we are a little bit familiar with string now, we are going still to cover it in the later on lectures, but for now, if you go to system.string, you can find compare, clone, you can find concatenate, which is just to congregate two strings together. So you find everything that you can use, every function that you can use for this class if you created an instance out of it in here, in the object browser. So this is just a side note. Okay. Manufacturing year, and I'm naming the data types using camel case, as you can notice, and perhaps you can add the color, the tires, anything. For the methods, let's add a method called to accelerate, void called to, or display, first display information, for example, display information. And yeah, I'm just gonna start this with Pascal case as well for my naming convention, and inside of it I'm just gonna console.write line all the information of this particular car. So the car model, or the car's model is, and then the model, and then down line the car's make is, and then make, and then down one line, and then the manufacturing year is manufacturing year. Okay, and now let's add another one called to accelerate. Accelerate. Which will display the car is accelerating. And another one to stop. Now just print out the car is stopping. Alright, now in order for me to use this class, I have to declare a variable of this class, which is car equal, or let's say BMW for example, or car1 equals new car. Okay, and then car1 dot, and now I can access everything that is in public in here. But if this was private, I won't be able to access it from outside the class. Look, it's gone now, right? So I'm just gonna keep it public for now. Okay, and then the model, and this is BMW, and then car1 dot make equals, oops, I think I reversed this. So the model is, let's say, 520i, and the make is BMW. Okay, and what else do I have? I have the date time, car1 dot date dot, what is it called, manufacturing date. Okay, manufacturing date equal new date time, because it's a class, right? It's a class inside the class. So I begin with the year, and then the month, and then like the IntelliSense tells me, and then the day. Okay, and then semicolon, and then maybe I can get this car to display the information. Display information, car1 dot to accelerate, or it's called car1, I'm sorry, car1 dot to accelerate, and then car1 dot to stop. Okay, let's see this. F5, and here you go. The car's model is 520i. Oh, it has some sort of a dollar sign which shouldn't be here. Yeah, it's because of this. Alright, let's run it again. Okay, so the car's model is 520i, the car's make is BMW, the manufacturing year is this, and then the car is accelerating and the car is stopping.